Our A-Team, our Friday A-Team is ready to roll. Juan Williams is here, Fox News political analyst and co-host of The Five. Cheryl Casoni, co-host of FBN AM on the Fox Business Network. And Lisa Booth, senior fellow at Independent Women's Voice and a Fox News contributor. And it's Friday and I'm starting to lose my voice. So Juan, let's start with you first on this, because both congresswomen, they're banned entry, although Israel made it clear if she could apply to go on humanitarian basis, to see her grandmother, they granted her that. Now she says she won't go.
Well, I think this is all political posturing on both sides. I mean, clearly President Trump made an unprecedented effort to get an ally to ban a member of Congress from visiting the country. And what you saw was a response that came not only from Democrats, Chuck Schumer saying that this is anti-democratic, but you had Kevin McCarthy, who's over there, the Republican leader in the House, saying everyone should visit.
Marco Rubio also.
Marco Rubio said much the same thing. And I think that you're seeing people say, this is just too much of taking politics beyond the pale. Yes, we disagree with these congresswomen, but President Trump is now using this in a political fashion. And I think that what you're seeing now is that she is posturing and saying, I won't go along with your effort now to try to make amends for the error that was made because it has had such a backlash in the United States.
Lisa?
Well, I would say that Israel says that their law prohibits the entry of people who call for the boycott of Israel. That is exactly what Representatives Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib have done with their support of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. This is a movement that Nancy Pelosi has said that is bigoted and dangerous. This is a movement that Chairman Jerry Nadler said seeks the elimination of Israel. And this is also a movement that was rejected by a Democrat-controlled House 398-17. So I think for those reasons, they don't want to allow these two members of Congress in. And I think that's fair.
Ilhan Omar, in her own words, saying it's an affront that Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu, under pressure from the president, Cheryl, would deny entry to representatives of the U.S. government. Trump's Muslim ban is what Israel is implementing, this time against two duly elected members of Congress.
I think that, look, there are certain things that whether it's Tlaib or Omar will say that I disagree with. And I think their rhetoric is just as dangerous as some of the rhetoric that we get on the Republican side. At the same time, I think it's a dangerous precedent to deny a member of the United States Congress entry into Israel. I understand the Israelis' point that this group that was sponsoring their trip, actually, there are members of that group that the Israelis believe has sponsored terrorism against Israel. They were going to the West Bank. And one of the things, it's been several years since I've been in Jerusalem, but I was always impressed how the Israelis and the Palestinians actually would be able to work together, whether it was business, commerce, or just the fact that they're occupying a very small swath of real estate together. And I think it's a sad state of affairs when you've got, again, both sides of the aisle here in this country saying you really should let congressmen or women, in this case, visit. And I think it's unfortunate that we've actually come to this. It is politicized.
Here's Rush Limbaugh, soundbite number 2, guys. Go.
You have two women who are out of control in their hatred for Israel and Jewish people. It's their lifeblood. Before they became elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, these women grew up hating Jews. They grew up as anti-Semites. I don't care if they've been elected to anything or not. That's who they are.
Well, I would just say I think Democrats really need to rethink the idea of standing in solidarity with people like Representatives Omar and Rashida Tlaib, who have expressed extremist points of view, particularly Omar. I think they should think twice about being seen as standing behind people with those viewpoints.
But, Lisa, you just said that, in fact, the Democratic majority in the House voted against the boycott resolution.
That's true, but they're standing behind. They can stand behind the movement, but they're standing behind these two members of Congress.
They're not, because they're members of Congress. But it's the president who I think wants to make them the face of the Democrats, and that's just not the case.
But that's what is the case in terms of if you look at the...
Based on these, Juan, he doesn't have to stretch too far to even make that happen.
Yeah, he is. What are you talking about? Why do you think we're talking about it?
Exactly right. Yeah. We're talking about it.
Because the president absolutely broke all protocol by going to a foreign leader and saying, block a member of Congress, our nation's legislative branch, from coming to your country. It's unprecedented.
In the meantime, topic number 2.